changing the flooring in your house is such a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's something that you can do that will make your house completely different. But there's only one place you should go, and it's coreflooringfl.com.
Yep, Corey from Core Flooring. We talked to them. They're advertised with us. They're right there in Winter Park. 20 years experience.
Beautiful showroom.
Great ratings online. And they have 0% financing for 24 months. They're offering a 10% off discount right now on all flooring and labor starting at just $1 per square foot.
Yeah, and that's everything. That's the made in the USA waterproof laminate, vinyl planks, wood floors, soft spaces. People still like the carpet. You got to have some of that stuff.
Yeah, and if you're looking for flooring, jump on that 10% discount right now.
Yep.
You have to mention Tom and Dan, but it's important to use a quality flooring company, and they serve all of Central Florida. So if you're in Central Florida and you're looking for flooring, and one more time, what type of flooring do they offer?
I mean, you got the made in the USA waterproof laminate. Now that's what I have. It's specially
that luxury vinyl plank.
It's specially made to have a special barrier, so if it does get some standing water on it, it isn't going to ruin your house.
It lasts forever.
And trust me, we live in a house where my daughter leaves ice cubes standing on the floor, and then they melt everywhere because she's making her jug for dance everywhere. So that's exactly what I needed. They got the vinyl planks, wood floors, and carpet. If you want that in your bedrooms, I have soft surfaces in my bedrooms because I still like that.
Yeah, 100%.
But he can do anything you want, and beyond that, he does good stuff. Portion of all proceeds, because flooring, he's been doing this for a hot minute, 20 years experience. A portion of what you pay for that flooring goes to Save a Life Pet Rescue, so he's putting some money back out there.
It's awesome.
That makes me feel good, man, because how I love my puppies.
Yeah, go to a pet charity. It's coreflooringfl.com. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. Come on over and join us. Join the chat room at Tom and Dan Live. Conway J is in there. We were talking to Conway J about the trials and tribulations of getting your boat worked on once a year.
Yeah, you can let your oil go 3.5 years. We figured it out.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no problem.
I have a Honda Ruckus scooter that same oil in it. I bought it 2007.
That doesn't need no oil.
Fine. Absolutely fine.
On Zoom with us, one of the hosts of New Blurred Order podcast and comedian Vince Taylor. How you doing, Vince?
What's happening, guys? Y'all all right? That applies to Corollas, too, because I had a Corolla for like 10 years and they never changed the oil, not nan time, bro. It's the craziest thing ever.
A lot of those earlier, now they've gotten used to, they're not as good now. But the earlier original Japanese cars that made their way, and Korean cars that made their way into the States will run forever.
Yeah, and that's
forever.
Big Oil has been telling us we need every 3,000 miles or whatever the hell. It's made so well, because every time I change oil, because I'm like, I got to be responsible now, I'll change the oil on this four-wheeler or the boat or whatever, it comes out black as hell. Yeah. And I'm like, this is still good. It's like it's fine.
Well, are you saying that black is good? Because it should be like...
I was about to say, I will never argue with that. Yeah,
should be yellow-orange.
No, black is fine.
Black on crack is what Tom says. Tom puts black oil into his cars because he only trusts black.
It can't...
always bet on black.
It can't be white. I know that.
I don't trust white oil.
If it's white or water, just pure water, that's real
white
bad.
Oil, so much privilege.
That's the privileged oil.
Black is fine, but it's still working.
Yeah.
It's still moving up.
I will agree with Tom. I have felt black oil on my hands just as greasy as clear oil.
The blacker the better.
I agree. The sweeter the oil.
It worked so long for free. That's the problem with
the blacker the Castro, the bigger the... I don't know. I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, let's move on.
So before we started, Vince was having a couple audio issues.
Why you got to call him out like that?
No, I'm just...
Nobody knew about that. That's like saying, before we got to the show, Tom crapped his pants. I just want everyone to know. Why'd you say that? You're oversharing. You do do this with our bosses too. You just stop.
Our bosses, I got no bosses.
Literally, yeah. Like, nobody had to know that. Like, it was so private.
Yeah, he was working hard.
So I said it because I too had some audio issues like 2 weeks ago, or maybe.
Oh, so you have to knock Vince down to your level so you can feel better. This is about you. This is selfish.
But I handled it differently because, and Tracy knows this. She was on the business meeting with her.
You just made Vince laugh like a little white girl.
Well, you know what the problem is? There's too many business video conference call apps, and
there are too many. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
We got Teams, we got Solutions, then there's Zoom. Yeah, you got all of them. And Teams is the one I hate, though. I hate your Teams. Yeah, Zoom for everything.
And then, by the way, I said, let's do a meeting. I meant by the phone, like old school. And then don't just send me the Teams.
I'm going to call about. I'm going to call about. We saw them this morning. You know who does this the most? The Danger Brands.
Yeah,
and we saw them in person this morning, and it was a better meeting. They always with the Teams. I Teams this, Teams that.
Because in person, I can give you a handshake, pull you closer.
That's a real team. A real team. You can touch the human.
I got to pull you.
A real team. Vince Taylor hits a home run. I pop him in his jock strap. I say, "Good one, Vince." That's what a real team does.
So fanny tap,
yeah, fanny tap.
So anyway,
how am I supposed to tap his fanny over Zoom?
I go to the meeting, right, and then
this is you. You went to it. You were having audio issues.
Yeah. Well, here's the problem. I popped up on the, and then everybody's already there, and Tracy's there, and then some other strangers.
Well, why were you late? You taking a doo?
Still had something in your nose, or like how does that work?
This guy says before business meetings he has to get out all his bad ideas and go take a doo doo.
If it says 2, I'm there at 2:05.
Nah, 2. No, no. You got a
10-minute window.
No, 1:55. You got to wait 5 minutes in silence.
A 10-minute window. That's what I was taught in business school.
No, 1:55. If you're at 2, you're 2 minutes late.
Anyway, I pop up.
Am I not supposed to be on the toilet right now?
I pop up, and then I have no audio. And then I go, and they're like, "Oh, I know how to fix this." There's an audio button, and there's either an X over it or it's clear.
Well, it's a bar.
Yeah,
it's not
whatever,
an X. Yeah. It's like a crossbuster.
and then I went down to no X, and then I'm like, "Hello," and then they're like,
"Hello, hello, are you in there? Who's doing this meeting? Frying Laven. Hello, lady." You become Jerry Lewis.
Tracy's trying to help me.
Frying Laven, pretty lady.
She's pointing at her ears, and then I'm like, "Oh God!" And then I'm like, "Oh, they can see me." And then I'm like, "Well,
so what do you do when they can see you?"
Well, yeah, this is the problem. All I have is the button, so I'm just pushing the button.
You put your hand over the camera.
Then I just duck out of the way.
You duck out of the way.
Oh man, we need to get you one of them Stephen Hawking chairs, so you could just be like, "Man, right now you can't hear me, but I'm speaking. I promise."
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And
it doesn't work.
I'm signaling the people like, "Go to telephone."
We should have done this in person. Handshakes.
Yeah, just call me.
Skip introduction, please. Yeah.
Let's go and meet at Panera like real people do.
Anyway, lost the deal.
I would sound like
well, oddly enough, it was for a video conferencing software company, and if you can't use their products, you can't advertise the video.
Why can't we just do it on the phone now? Like, there's nothing wrong with the phone.
Literally.
Why did we why did,
COVID?
No, I understand that, but why didn't it go back? Why do we need to see everybody now? Because I'll give you a real, and we'll discuss this and be grumpy old men with Vince for 1 second, and then we'll go into, nerd news. But my wife does all Zoom meetings all day long. Yeah, and I kid you not, and hopefully I'm okay saying this, I'm not trying to bust out her teams. She's in charge of a lot of teams that can have let's say 30 people in the team. And she's in charge of getting all their info, right? And they'll all be up at one time on one screen, and 90% of their cameras are off.
Yeah.
So what are we doing? You're just
on a conference call.
Yeah, if you're just on a call. So let's...
Can you really have a conference call with 30 people? Don't you have a limit?
No. I mean, I think some Zooms you can go up to 200, 250 people if you needed them all on there.
Yes.
Yeah, and they use Teams too. I think Teams as well will do that. But most of them have their camera off. In fact, my wife turns her camera off. I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You're just calling. You're calling everybody. It's a conference call. So it's fine.
we're heading towards the days where we don't have to be on screen at all. Like, I can see a few years from now me having like a little AI avatar where all I have to do is just talk, even if it's from my toilet seat, and they'll make all the same mannerisms that I'm doing right now without me actually being here. So wouldn't that be doper than having people on the actual screen? Like, I'd rather see an AI version of myself than see my actual self, because you're going to see the sleep in my eye, you're going to see the boogers in my nose, all that stuff that happens first thing in the morning. If you get an AI version of me on screen, I think that's going to be a little bit more marketable.
Well, that's what Apple Vision Pro, that's what they were trying to roll out, I want to say like 4 years ago when they rolled that thing out and we all saw that monstrosity that Apple produced, and we're like, so we're going to be able to do Apple FaceTime with avatars and it's going to feel like we're in the room, and we're just not there yet. We're not there yet.
I've seen a few of them where like they can even change your face to like a Disney face or like an anime face or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They probably got blackface. They probably got all kind of like elf face. You know,
I'm actually in blackface right now, but I've layered an actual white face over it so you can't see it.
A lot of people don't. I've been fooling y'all.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that I wear natural blackface, but that I just digitize it out for the final videos.
It's okay, brother. That's all right. You got a friend. We good.
So, Vince, speaking of tech and video games, and I want to go into the movie that is based off of a video game, which is popular nowadays, with not only movies but TV series, based off video games. But what movie were you talking about earlier?
We spoke about Gears of War and the fact that Gears of War will be adopted as a live action series.
I did not know that until you said it, man.
Yeah. They're right now. They're putting it together. We don't have everybody casted yet, but it's been greenlit. I mean, I honestly think that his name escapes me now, but the guy that plays Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, David Bautista, I think his name is. I think he'd be a really good Dominique, or he'd be really good in that game, because if you play Gears of War, like everybody's all juiced up, like everybody looks like Big Papi, and like Albert Pujols, like everybody's like completely overroided.
They're like veiny roid guys.
They need a cast like that to represent those folks.
I agree. I hope they do the early 2000s or mid 2000s like imagery of Gears of War. It is a game that I can speak infinitely on, because I've played every iteration of it. It was the game that pulled me into online gaming. It was. Gears of War was by far the game that got me, and I was like, I became a surgeon with the chainsaw. I figured out how to get under people. You have a chainsaw on the bottom of your gun.
Okay.
And you have different guns you can have, different blasters and stuff, but the tried and true gun that you get is a cog. You're playing as a cog, which just think Space Marine. So you're playing as a cog, but the main gun that cogs get is it's got a chainsaw on the bottom of it instead of a bayonet, and you chainsaw zombies. For some reason, I became so good at it that I wouldn't even use my gun. I would just run around, sneak up on people, and just chainsaw them in half. And that's how I would win the game for my team. I was really, out of all the games I've played, this is a one of one. I was really good at this game online.
So I don't know the backstory of Gears of War. I know like the imagery and the soldiers or whatever.
I can do super fast. Aliens invade Earth, take it over, and we're trying to get them away.
And are the soldiers just normal humans, or are they made to be soldiers?
Good question. Yeah, they're super human, but not in the manner of like Halo. Like in Halo, they actually manufacture these kids from birth. Well, not from birth. They kidnap them to an extent. They kind of do a DCF thing, and then they get them trained up to be members of the I forget what that with the Halo group. But in this one, they're essentially just soldiers. They're basically folks who could have easily been drafted if we were still here in the States, and they go off and do war. And the ones that are, obviously exceptional, they last longer. Yeah. And the thing that's exceptional about the Gears of War thing is that you follow a story. Like the main dude's name is Dominique, and Dominique, he ends up having his son join him and all of his best friends. So you kind of follow them around through the sequels and whatnot. Eventually his son takes over. But some of the actual villains are hella cool too. Like they have these one villains called the Boomers. I'm sure you remember them, Dan,
They're
right?
the best. They're the best.
On the screen, they're like, boom.
Yeah, they're like these big fat guys with big mega missile launchers. And when they come on screen and it has like this effect, and they'll be like, boom. And they'll yell it, and they'll come. It's got a little bit of Duke Nukem in it. It's a little bit of cartoony violence. It's believable, but not like they do a good job Not that I need to sing the praises of Gears of War, but if you haven't played it at all, it is a good one to go back and go through. They do a good job with the dialogue. They do a great job with making you feel for the characters. And Dom is kind of like the Clint Eastwood. He's this anti-hero kind of a guy where it's him versus, he's a cog, right? He's a space marine.
Okay.
And he has to fight these bad aliens, but he also hates being a cog. He hates he hates the Marines. He hates the government. He just wants to live with his son, or maybe just live on an island and just smoke some dope and just be a chill dude. But he can't because he's got this prison of being a space marine. He's built for him and his family, and say, "All right, here we go again." He talks like that a little bit. And I think
man,
your Dave,
Tommy, you could be him, man. You could play him in a movie.
You could. Your Dave Bautista, though, he's going to have to bulk back up again. That's going to be the problem.
Because he lost a little weight, but it's fine. I mean, he still got that huge head, and as long as they got that huge head, it'll still resemble the characters on Gears of War.
Because it's a suit. It's like you have like this big giant suit on too. I think that'll be cool if they do it right. That'll be really cool.
Now, here's the thing about that. Gears of War is in talks and hasn't necessarily made it to production yet. There are some other things that are out right now that like recently just came out. Like, I know I've come on here before and talked about Invincible. Invincible is now in its 4th season. It recently released the first 3 or 4 episodes, and it's completely ridiculous. I don't know, Tommy, if you've had a chance to check it out yet, but it's about a father and a son, both who are basically set to take over Earth because they have what's called Viltrumite powers. And now we're learning more about Nolan Grayson, who came from this Viltrumite culture, of which they're essentially, we learned, are supposed to come to different cultures and not only take over the culture, but breed with the culture. So it's kind of like a whole, like, I don't know. It's like a reverse filtering out type of situation, but it's real cool. If those who haven't checked it out, give it a quick look. Seth Rogen plays one of the characters. There's a lot of famous folks.
Isn't he Alan the alien?
Yeah, Alan the alien. Which is a character that's very underappreciated.
He is because they made him like Alan the alien's a strange character in Invincible, and the problem with him for me is, and probably a lot of people, is they made him sort of goofy. Like he's drawn goofy, and he's got a big goofy eyeball, and he's like a cyclops, and he's like a muscly guy.
Yeah. But
his powers are damn near as high or even higher than Invincible, but he's comedic relief.
Right.
And that never works for me. It never works for me when you give Jack Black invincible powers. It just doesn't work for me to have the funny guy be as powerful as the menacing angry guy or the virtuous hero.
Okay. Yeah.
When you have the comedy guy he's just as strong and he's killing you and he's like, whoa, got a boner. I'm like, I can't do it. So you
didn't like Hancock? You didn't like Hancock? The whole character?
I hated Hancock for a whole different reason. The fact that he cheated on old what's her name, the blonde. What's her name?
Yeah, she was played by Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
But yeah,
the fact that Will Smith cheated in that movie made me hate his character infinitely. I was like, I hate this guy.
Wow, I didn't. Okay, noble man, sir. I'm learning about you. Yeah, I didn't know that was something that would have kept you from. All right, cool.
I feel movies and shows hard, and when characters do things that I deem unredeemable, I abandon them.
Oh yeah, like my wife stopped listening to Foo Fighters. They're good.
And actually, I listen to them more because I understand the way it goes.
So that joint dropped, man. That's pretty dope. I would encourage anybody to watch that. Other things are coming out too.
Let me ask you real quick about Invincible, just to go back to it for just a nanosecond. Is it as intense as the other 2 seasons have been?
Good question. It does kind of start off a little intense, but it tends to build as it goes. It's got that Game of Thrones appeal, for those that watch Knights of the Seven Kingdoms. It kind of starts off something real crazy, and then it goes into the backstory, the building of the plot.
Okay.
And right now we're in the building of the plot era. If you did watch the last season, you'll know we met Conquest. And for the readers out there who read Robert Kirkman's comics, Conquest ain't nothing to mess with. We learned that the Viltrumites have been depleted, of which they were billions. Now they're down to like 50 few, something like that. So they have to reproduce, but every culture and every species isn't compatible with Viltrumite DNA. So one of the things that Nolan Grayson has been doing is impregnating as many different cultures as possible, including this most recent insect that he impregnated to come up with his son now. So it's intense in terms of us learning more about Nolan, and you're also learning for those who have been following one of the most iconic scenes in the very first season was when Nolan came against Mark and had to essentially beat him to death. Like, he beat him to beyond a pulp. I mean, there are like memes of Nolan standing over his beaten son going, think, because he beats him to within an inch of his life. Well, we fast forward to this season and we realize that Nolan did that because his parents did that to him. Specifically, it was his mom. His mom tried to beat him to death. His pops had to come and be like, yo, chill. And she was like, both of y'all some pussies, and ran on off. And I guess that's an adequate representation of some of the strong women we have in our lives at this point.
It's a crazy show. It is a cartoon, so I know that's not normally something you go into, but it's intense. Like, it is
Oh, let me challenge you for a second. I have a sense that people don't call animated series as cartoons unless they're for kids. I feel like that's the distinguishing fact. The cartoon is Tom and Jerry. It's Chippendale Rescue Rangers. An animated series is Invincible, is your anime series.
Yeah, this is like me calling porno adult cinema, right? Like, is that what we're doing?
Vince, I'm doing it to bully people that watch the cartoons. You see what I'm saying? It's belittling it, you see?
Yeah, let's hold it at a different standard.
I do love it, but I'll still say it. I've said it before in the show, and I'll say it again. The train scene, I can't watch it anymore.
Oh, wow, you can't? No. Well, see, I play Mortal Kombat, and on Mortal Kombat 1, Omni-Man is a character, and that's one of his fatalities. He literally will hold up his character, or whoever he beats, hold him by the neck, and then fly to a subway, and hold them still while the subway train runs all the way through them until there's nothing left but their neck bones. And that's what I like to see in my type of educational content.
I like that. I like that. What else we got to kick around today?
Well, I want to ask you, Vince, because you brought up Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, and
very popular.
And me and my wife watched the whole, first season.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. And because we were big Game of Thrones fans, like watch all that, all the House of Dragons. And so when this came out, we were excited. It's back in, Westeros, and it's all the characters, at a different time though, but it's like it ties together with the main world. And then it started making me think, because then I was mad when I looked up when the next season comes out, it's the next year.
Yeah, 2027, right? End of?
Yeah, and then I was like, that's too long. And then I started thinking, I was like, man, based on the popularity of this show and like obviously Game of Thrones world and the fact that they came out with something a little bit different than they haven't done, we talked about that, and I'm like, it's been so far seemingly a success and people are really into it. I'm like, they should start just cranking these out just like Marvel World or the Marvel Universe, where now you have tons of different series that are coming out back to back with different stories.
Oh my God, wow. Everybody's always complaining about how long it takes for them to get the production, but you can't get it if you just spit it right out, man. You got to give it some time to fester.
He's saying use AI. He's AI everything.
I want it now.
You want to go straight from season 1 to season 2, but sorry, sir. If you want, you have to wait for good quality products, sir. It doesn't just come out just like that, sir. You can't just like expect these things to happen off rip. Like, first of all, they didn't even know for a fact if Night of the Seven Kingdoms was going to pop like that. And let's give the studio some credit, because the Game of Thrones series was based on George R.R. Martin's book, right? But it didn't actually get to the end of it with the content that it started with, because the book didn't get finished. So they had to kind of make up a lot of stuff toward the end.
Yeah, different.
However, this show was almost verbatim the words from the book. So if you read the book, if you're watching the show, you literally feel like you're reading or watching the words off of the page.
Interesting.
Which is phenomenal.
I didn't know that.
One of the reasons why it has such a slow start, because, when you start reading books, they don't always just jump right into the action scenes. So they actually followed the actual script of the book, which one of my favorite scenes was him behind a tree, woke everybody up after that. That was pretty crazy. But yeah, you got to give it at least some time, and you can't expect, and you're just like some of our friends on our panel. They want everything to go back to the Full House TGIF days, where you get a 28 season series, and then before you you even know it, as soon as it's over, it's already in syndication, and you see Steve Urkel right back on set for a whole new season right after that. It don't work like that right now. We're in streaming phases. So we need to give it some time for folks to have their little chats, do what we're doing right now, gym up a little bit more enthusiasm and maybe even a little bit of anticipation for it. So when it drops, you got a bunch of folks standing in line waiting to see it instead of just sitting there like, where is my damn next season? It's like, well, it's going to come, but we want you to want it more.
And let me add something to it, because I don't know if you know this. Ghost says in our chat room, they were going to do a bunch of them, but a bunch of them were shelved. For instance, the Jon Snow spinoff show was canceled.
Yes.
So there's supposed to be a Jon Snow show that we didn't get. And there's also a prequel series in the works that takes place during the Robert Baratheon Rebellion.
Yeah. Well, I didn't like the Jon Snow idea because I don't think he was supposed to die in the spoiler alert, if anybody didn't watch the show 3 years ago, Jon Snow dies and he's revived, and that's not how it happened in the book. I'll leave that alone. But there are some other ideas that are being tossed around right now. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with the House of Dragon series, right? Which is supposed to be releasing another season here in this upcoming few months. But one of the characters on there, Corlys, all right, who is not a Targaryen, but somebody in the chat, go ahead and refresh my memory, because he actually belongs to a group of folks that they changed into black people with white hair, which made a few people uncomfortable, but I think they finally realized how cool it is. And they were talking about making a show based on his character,
black people
Corlys.
With surfer cuts? Black people with a butt cut?
White, that is a Targaryen.
Yeah, I didn't know what you meant.
No, like black people with white dreadlocks, you know what I'm saying? But not that they're old; they're just the way they are.
Look like George Clinton, like an army of George Clinton.
Yeah, Atomic Dog type vibes. Yeah, all that. So
great song.
It's supposed to be an animated series, but by introducing these different types,
cartoons again.
I said animated. I didn't say cartoon. I said animated series. Put some respect on that series.
Yeah, put some respect on the cartoons. What else you got, Vince? What else have you been watching?
Yo, well, I've been watching Wonder Man. We had a chance to interview two of the Wonder Man casts. The young lady who was actually his agent in that, whose name is Ex Mayo, and his dad, name is Bashir Sylvan. We got a chance to speak with both of them, and that was pretty cool, and pick their brains about that. There's also a brand new day trailer that came out for Spider-Man, but I was wondering if I could take a quick detour and give y'all a quick story about something. Have y'all, now listen, we all live in Florida now, so we've lived through hurricanes, but have you all ever lived through a tornado?
I mean, not directly, not over me or anything. No, no, just hurricanes.
It is extremely frightening. Okay, so I had to go back to my hometown of St. Louis a few weeks back, and right before we got back on the plane to head back here to Florida, the clouds got black, everything got crazy, and I didn't know what was going on, but was like, all right, whatever, we ain't worried about it. We're going to go ahead and catch on the plane. Before we go to the plane, I stopped at one of the parks I grew up going to as a child, and while I'm showing my family, hey, I used to swim in that little pool over there. I used to sit on that bit. This alarm goes off, right? And everything stops. Everybody's phones turns yellow, and it says tornado alert, tornado warning in your area. Get to shelter right now. Like, I'd never been in an area like where you're expecting a bomb to drop at any moment.
Yeah.
But that must be what it feels like. So I had to stop. Now, my dumb ass, I'm sitting there like, is it really a tornado? I'm looking around. I'm like, I don't see nothing. I see black clouds. I see thunder, but I'm like, where's the twister? I don't see no twister.
Yeah, you can see it like the movies. I
don't see no. Where's the old lady? Where's the
anything I see, I can outrun.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, you throw your beer bottle into it.
I want to shoot it. Where's the tornado?
You shoot at it, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't find that, so we had to hurry up and rush. I called up a cousin, was able to go over to their house, kind of get safe in a basement. But that is a crazy experience that I don't think my daughter, especially who was with me, is ever going to forget, because it literally feels like you're about to be bombed. Like, I don't know if y'all have ever heard one of those war type alarms or sirens in an area, but it is right. It is so frightening. Like, you really are like, I don't know where to go, because everywhere you go, you hear it. It's louder. So you don't ever feel like you're safe. But happy to report, obviously, I made it back.
I'm glad you did.
Later, canceled the flights.
They need to change that alarm and differentiate between bombs and tornadoes, because the bomb one's the same. You know what I'm saying?
It's like,
we need some sort of difference. You know, like,
how about some music?
Like an ambulance is different than a cop. You know, there's a difference there.
What if it played like raindrops are falling on my head? And you're like, all right, weather, that's weather. I know weather. And then if it's
rain. Play like a song or something like it, but you probably just start vibing. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you're in Oz, and you don't know how you got there.
It's not a bad idea to differentiate.
It's too scary, so your anxiety goes crazy, and you're not thinking right. Like, it needs to be chill,
a little more chill.
Yeah. Just so
I agree.
You know, like, you're like, all right, you need like
it should be like a whoop whoop, like when a cop's telling you to pull, like, get out of the way.
It's not the full siren.
Yeah. What if it just went whoop whoop, and you're like, oh, well, hold on, I heard that whoop whoop. That's I know what that means.
It's like start making your way.
My hands on the steering wheel. That's all that's going to happen, because I'm not going to say. But let me ask y'all, what would y'all do? So say you guys are at an event, right, at one of the many events that you all do, and next thing you know, you hear this siren. Do you take it? I mean, you're in a state where we don't hear those that often. So do you take it seriously?
Oh, yeah. I'd be scared.
No.
I'd be a little freaked out.
Y'all are? Because I'm more of like I need to see it first.
I'd be freaked out. I'd be freaked out just so the fact that they do that.
Any alarm that ever goes off in my life, I always assume it's a mistake or a test. 100%. Any alert that I get, I assume it's not meant for me. And I'm in the area, but it's never going to affect me whatsoever. And I dismiss every warning I've ever had.
So that's what me and Tom said. We'd be the same. Like, I literally would, if it wasn't for my wife being with me, I would have literally started marching toward the dark cloud.
You Foot Locker guys are unshakable.
I not only don't do anything, I'm mad at it. Like, I'm mad.
Turn that off.
I scream, turn that off.
How dare you interrupt whatever I was doing?
Hey, you're talking about warning alerts. I have to tell you something that I started watching because I got a new TV, and I think that maybe I'm a show and a movie guy, and I just didn't know it. I started watching, and it's real stupid, but in a good way, Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
Oh, you think it's stupid?
In a good way, because it's easy. It's not like you.
Yeah.
Like, there's some things that happen that you're like, okay, Kurt Russell's 90 years old. Come on, it's stupid in that regard. You see what I'm saying? I'm not dissing it. I enjoy it, but it's definitely
some of the stupid stuff.
It's definitely comic book. It's got a comic book vibe to it, and it is beautiful though. If you have a nice enough TV, what Apple's doing with that is, oh my God, I'll watch a beautiful animated Batman, like a giant 100-foot bat stab a plane all day long. I love that.
Oh, it's a cartoon?
No, it's not a cartoon. It's just, it looks like a real, they call them Titans. It looks like a real bat, and it's just beating up a plane with its fake bat wings. Oh, it's awesome.
On my 100-inch TV I recently bought.
You got a hundo?
A hundo, bro. I can never go back. Like, why I go into like a doctor's office? I mean, what is that, 15? What is that, 20, 30? Oh my God, like, grow up.
Sir,
like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a 75-inch, sir.
Damn it. I told myself at Champs, I'm like, one day I'll have a 100-inch TV before fence.
And he looked at you and he's like, that guy will never have it. I'm Drunky the Bear.
He was. But now, Monarch is really good. And one of the dopest parts about Monarch now, of course, you're definitely tapping into some of the.
I'm way in now. I'm almost a full season in. I've got the second season to start.
The stuff going on with the father is hilarious to me. Like, that is hilarious. Like, my man, I don't know, spoiler alert, but my man is a whole player pimp.
Oh,
dog got two whole separate families, and the whole worlds collide in this. And I think that is a hilarious plot line, because as you start to get toward the current portion of it, they start to try to justify it. So you kind of get this sense that the writers are trying to push for infidelity. You know what I'm saying?
Like, one of the writers definitely has a secret family. That's what I'm feeling. Yeah. It feels like one of the writers is like, well, hold on, let's not villainize this secret family guy. He's not that bad.
This guy produced two. Yeah, you know, he's like, what's so bad? Like, he produced these wonderful children.
Yeah.
Like, see what you get when you cheat on the wife.
Two great children.
Well, two dads are better than one. I learned that in the 90s.
That's true. That part. Like, look at all this. But I love that, because Monarch gives them the ability to focus on some of those really cool characters that if you grew up watching Godzilla, or even Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and all that, we always focus on Godzilla and King Kong. Like, not really as much some of the other creatures that are almost just as interesting.
Like
so
the
now
Ice
you have a
Titan.
pathway to focus on some of these other Mothras and the other characters that are just as defiant, just as difficult to manage, but their name isn't Godzilla or King Kong. And I love that about this.
The
So
ice one, they got this new one where I'm at right now in the story. They got an Ice Titan. So he's got like a vagina mouth, like a disgusting tentacle vagina mouth, but he's got ice powers that he can shoot the ice powers at you and also punch a hole in you. But he loves fire. And he'll eat the fire to get more.
Is he like ice or fire?
I don't know. I gotta watch more of the show. They haven't blown him up yet.
You've seen the signs. You have to choose.
Oh, just like a vagina, hot, soft, hot, cold.
What's gross? It's a gross mouth. Anytime they draw, and they do this in video games too, where like a lot of developers are like, all right, the most menacing thing a bad guy can have is a vagina face.
Dan, the thing you said that's more fascinating to me is you said you were watching this with your wife. She liking it?
She's doing crochet. She's fallen into doing crochet.
Have you seen how, of course, he watches his movies?
I watch my shows while my wife's crochet. And I make her do that because of my look, because of my beard and hair and my look. She doesn't like crocheting, but I'm like, if I'm going to look like a racist old man, you got to crochet. I make her do that.
Nah, man, I love the look, man. I swear, man. You're just in the wrong place. You should be in Middle Earth, not here in the Central Florida area.
I'm going to do that for Halloween. Wait till you see what I'm doing for Halloween. I already ordered my Lord of the Rings battle axe. We're doing it. We're doing it. I'm Gimli.
I'll be right there with you. I got another thing that's a little off topic real quick I want to throw in, if it's okay with y'all.
Yeah. Please.
But I recently had a chance to cover the World Baseball Classic right here in Miami.
Nice.
I saw that in your social.
That was huge.
Yeah, which that actually, and because opening day is tomorrow, so it's 100% true what they say about the World Baseball Classic environment just being completely different from your regular season environment, in which you're kind of like, okay, we got 162 games. Let's just get through this game. We win, we lose, whatever. Each game is a game. It's not a series. It's a game. Win or lose, take off, depending on where it is you are in the pool. So it's fascinating for me to see like the American crowd, because I was at the finals, and the Venezuelan crowd. The Venezuelan crowd, like it's almost like being at church. You know, you go to, well, depending on what kind of church you go to. I went to a church that was very vibrant. They sang, they were out loud, they clapped, they had tambourines, they used instruments in the crowd. So it was kind of like that. And they dressed rather exotically as well. And it was quite the experience for me in my first time attending. So I just thought that was fascinating. And that just made me even more hungry for this upcoming 2026 season of MLB.
What'd you think of the showing of Team USA and some of the attitudes that were expressed on the field? Because personally, I thought that some of the no handshakes and the anti-camaraderie, personally, this is just my opinion. I don't feel like it helps baseball at all. Like, I think I get what they're doing, and I'm a competitor, and I may not shake your hand, but I don't think it's helpful. I think it's negative press, and it doesn't make people go like, oh, this is a great game.
But it made it more entertaining for the viewer, because we're used, like, I think the Olympics steered the wrong way years ago, where everybody was like happy for each other, and it was less of like America versus Russia.
But
everything is snark now. Do you want that? Do you want everything to be negative?
It's like professional wrestling. It's like
everybody was happy for that breakdancing girl who got up and stood on her head. I don't remember her getting a lot of praise.
It may get more eyes. I don't think it's good for it. It doesn't help the game. It may be entertaining because people are addicted to negativity. But I don't think that it makes baseball any better to deny handshakes and camaraderie. And I think it looks better if you're like, oh, we're all in this together and we can compete. And also, I don't know.
But I like it when you hate your competitor. And
I do too.
And like in the both teams hate each other, like as a fan.
But there's respect there too, right?
Like,
no?
I never like it after the game when all the players pray together. I'm like, what? Pray separately. I'm like, why? I'm like praying to a different God.
God likes us better.
Yeah, you point up at the sky when you score a touchdown, and your God obviously likes you better. You pray separately, and don't even like the end.
Wouldn't you pray before? That's my problem with this.
Yeah, you don't pray after.
You don't pray after, and they do. They pray after, but I'm like, you're praying like you lost. Why are you praying? You should have prayed beforehand.
Like, God, how you let this team win? How about I told y'all not to let him do it? Anyway, at the end of the day, I want to just really quick piggyback off of what Dan said, because you are on to something. There are significant cultural differences that we learn about in the WBC that a lot of people aren't privy to if you only watch MLB, such as celebrating, right? Celebrating is celebrated in the WBC. If you looked at the Dominican Republic's lineup with Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, all these other folks, when they hit a home run, Juan Soto, they running around the base like, they doing a little dancing.
Yeah, it is fun.
But USA, they're like, nope, keep your head down. We act like you've done it before, until Bryce Harper hit that 2-run homer in the 8th inning of that last game. And he went around and he actually flexed his muscles a little bit, looked into the camera, threw his bat. He did a bat launch, not a bat flip. And I love that. And afterwards, he actually shook the hands of Venezuela. What I think you're talking about, Dan, is when Randy Arozarena tried to dap up Cal Riley. And Cal was like, nah. Yeah. Now, here's what makes it interesting, Tom.
They're teammates.
So Cal Riley and Randy Arozarena are teammates. They actually are on the same team.
In Seattle. And it'll be fine. Everybody's making too much of it. They really are. They're going to be fine in train. They're going to play great together, and they're great players. But I just didn't like I'm like,
it was unnecessary.
You could give the guy a fist bump. It's not going to make you less powerful as a catcher.
Right.
Come on.
What happens, Dan, is that they get into the dugout and they're like, listen, these ain't your teammates today.
Yeah.
This
is war.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it's us against them type thing. But I don't think it really changes anything in the end. Like Randy Arozarena was still going to strike out.
Yeah, if you're really confident, I think you can give the fist bump. Actually, I think it looks weaker to not do it. You're scared. If you're not doing it, you're scared because it's like, it's like what are you doing?
Yeah,
come on.
You're not Mike Tyson, bro. Like just dap him up and just keep it moving.
Yeah, that was my opinion.
Yeah, I like that, man. I'm with you on that. But
I don't know if Tom knows this, but if you were to watch opening game of baseball, we'll end with this. Where do you watch it? Do you know? Because I didn't think I would ever see this coming.
What do you mean?
Well, if you want to watch the opening game for the opening day this year of MLB, of baseball, where do you watch it?
I'll give you a hint. It's a streaming service.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You can call it. I know he'll
Netflix?
get it. Yeah, indeed.
It's on Netflix.
It is on Netflix. So here's what I'm saying. I think it will look really good, and I think it's going to sound really good, and they're going to do a great job with it. But I don't think I ever saw that on my bingo card of Netflix buying in the opening game. It is the most watched game. It's the most watched game. Because
we had hints when they did the Tyson fight, when they started doing the stuff with the who are the two brothers? The Logan,
the Paul brothers.
They start doing all that stuff. We got the hints that they're trying to get in. They're trying to get a little of that sports action in. So yeah, it works well alongside the cartoons and animated shows that they have on there.
It's also a tell that society is like, we're streaming now.
Yeah.
No more no more old. This is the new way, and that's it. You got a phone, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, I do.
Well, now unfortunately, because of the way they structure it, and this is just from me being a new TV guy, and I know this is going to get annoying, but he doesn't look as good on regular. Or YouTube TV does not look like Netflix looks. YouTube TV does not look like Hulu. YouTube TV does not look like Paramount. Any of the streaming, Apple looks the best in my opinion. Like Apple looks.
It looks, no matter how bad the show is, which is rare, the freaking photography and cinematography
it's disgusting.
Ridiculous. I don't know what the heck kind of iPhone they got, but I want that one.
Yeah, it's like there's some of the scenes in that Monarch where they're dragging it out just because they have the scenes. They're just like, well, this is a great scenescape. Leave it for an extra 7 seconds because this is beautiful.
Yo, I missed MegaCon this year for like the first time in like so long. Do y'all do MegaCon at all? I know there used to be a Real Radio booth out there. I don't know if y'all even still go anymore.
I think
Real Radio. we haven't talked to them in years.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We just send the tapes to the drafts, and
we mail tapes.
I mail VHS tapes to them of the show. If they play them, good on them. If they don't, good on them.
Okay, well, I retract my statement, Judge. My apologies.
If you can hear us right now, come in Tokyo.
All right. Well, I guess I told him myself. Well, hey.
Is that racist? I don't know.
Come in Tokyo?
Yeah.
Only if you say it in the way that Tokyo Rose would have said it. Maybe.
So, Vince, where can people hear your podcast?
Yeah, well, thanks, man. We're on the YouTubes, okay? And of course, anywhere you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of those good things at New Blurred Order. You can just put in New Blurred, BLERDs, Black and Nerd put together, New Blurred Order. And we got some pretty cool stuff. We literally just interviewed the writers of Starfleet Academy, which got a lot of slack. I don't know if y'all know, but there's now a gay Klingon that prances around in a skirt on Starfleet Academy, which I frankly don't have a problem with, but a lot of people seem to have an issue with. We got to interview him and a bunch of other folks. So yeah, if that's your jam, pull on up.
You got to interview a gay Klingon? Holy smokes.
Yeah, man. Yeah. He's like, yeah.
But you got to go, right? You got to say it like with a little sass.
I always assumed that aliens went both ways because it's the most
they were
logical.
the original. OG aliens been doing it for forever. We're new to the eating it all.
That's the most logical way to get everything.
Yeah,
it's like, I'll like both.
Yeah, if you're horny, give me all of it.
I imagine that's where we'd evolve, after 1,000 years, which is like, I'll take both.
Oh, evolution, Dan?
I wish I got both.
Yeah, space is where black holes are. Best believe they explored all of them, I'm sure.
There you go.
Vince, are you performing stand-up anywhere recently?
Yeah. I'll be in South Florida this weekend.
All right.
And then I got to go out of town the next few weekends. Then I get back on the cruise circuit in April. So hopefully while I'm here, we'll be able to see some folks and, pull on up. I'll drop my upcoming performances on my Instagram, The Real Vince Taylor, of which I follow Tom and Dan, just like y'all.
There you go. Go follow him. Go follow this man. Hey, man, we love you. Thank you for the time. Thanks you for the knowledge, and give some love to the rest of the blurreds, and we'll see you soon.
Absolutely appreciate y'all. Check out an animated series sometime soon, Tom.
He's not going to do it. He'll never watch cartoons.
Cartoons.com.
He'll never watch it. Cartoons.com. See you, man.
All right.
So insulting, cartoons.com. I love it, though. I do love it. Cartoons.com. It's funny. Who owns it? If I go to cartoons.com, who owns that? Right? Somebody has to. Cartoons.com.
What is it?
Who's got it? Who's got big?
What pops up?
Who owns No, nobody owns it.
What?
We're buying that. Oh, my God.
No one owns cartoons.
We're buying that. Holy crap. I'm quitting my job. My wife's like, you quit the podcast? I was like, I own cartoons.com now. Are you crazy?
Put everything on there.
I'm step one of cartoons.
All right. We will be right back. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We're live on Twitch and YouTube. If you're one of those people that, do you do this at the end of the day? If end of the night, I sit down, and if I do need to consume something scrolly, I go straight to the YouTube and all my subscriptions. I have subscriptions, and I go to my latest videos, and I figure that that's a little more. That's like one notch higher than just scrolling endlessly. It's like I'm going to a curated list of the things I'm into and getting a little bit thicker form video of it.
Yesterday, I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah.
I subscribed to Tom and Dan Live in my truck yesterday.
Did you really? Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you doing that.
Literally yesterday.
That's fine. Hey, as long as we got you, we got you.
I went to YouTube and I was like, I wonder what our channel looks like. And I went there. I was like, oh, pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's got some of the shorts that Melissa does, and then it's got some curated custom, interviews that SJ
you
cut
don't know
out.
what was on there. You didn't stay on there very long enough to see. You were going someplace else. You would have.
Well, I was still in Canada with my VPN.
I do that a lot now.
I do too, and I
do it everywhere. I do VPN. I left my Canadian VPN because I wanted to masturbate. Full transparency. I left it the entire spring break. There was my laptop. I came back. I opened it, and I'm like, everything's messed up. I'm not getting anything. I click on a Surfshark. Shout out Surfshark. Keeps you protected when you want to masturbate. Over in the top right-hand corner, it had been running 14 days. It had been running.
14
I've
days
been in Canada for 2 weeks. Didn't even know it.
Yeah. I was in Canada in Colorado. It didn't even need to be.
Yeah. You were closer.
It's open.
You were closer there.
Yeah, but it's open over in Colorado, and then but still stayed in Canada.
And you know what? Here's what I figured out. If you're doing Canada in Colorado, go Colorado. It's just a nano hair faster.
And what we're talking about, if you go to tomanddan.com, you click on Surfshark. It's a VPN VPN service.
Yes.
And you get 4 months free if you go through our link at our website at tomanddan.com. And when you get Surfshark, it's a little app. You can open the app, then you can set
it's a VPN.
Set your VPN to a different country, and then now you can go to any site that's not blocked by Florida or whatever.
And if you click through, and I believe it auto corrects a promo code for you, Tom and Dan, you get 50% off. At least that's what it says in the thing I'm in.
Yeah. Just go through tomanddan.com, Surfshark. Anyway, all right. On the line with us, we have Michelle. How you doing, Michelle?
Hey, guys. Good. How are you?
Good. Now, this is more of a weird hobby Wednesday.
I used to have a theme for that. Hold on. Let me see if I have
Which I got an email from Ghost who requested, because I asked about critiques of the show, and he wanted some weird hobbies.
Well, I have an intro for it. Let's put an intro on it, shall we? Here we go.
If you got a hobby and you're feeling kind of floppy, then that's flop. What's your hobby? Weird hobbies!
That's how fast we can transition. Ghost sent me an email 1 hour ago. We're already doing it.
Yeah, we can do that. We can turn this cruise ship with rocket fire. Like no one can turn their cruise ship like we can turn a cruise ship.
It's a tiny one-person jet boat.
Yeah, we could plan all day. Oh, who's coming in? Bert Kreischer's coming in today. Okay, let me plan all day. Oh, he canceled? Doesn't matter. I can turn this thing on a dime. Who's coming in now? Pete Hegseth.
Whatever you want, we'll do 5 minutes later.
I can talk to anybody at any time about anything. No problem.
Whatever you suggest, 1 minute we'll do it.
Okay.
So Michelle's on the line, and we're going to talk sign language. And this came about because we were talking about
the irony of us talking sign language.
we were discussing the sign language interpreter that's like at the Super Bowl, and we started talking about that. Michelle knew all about it.
Well, I was making a comment that the one particular gentleman they had doing it with the beautiful braids, and he had a purple suit on, and he looked like he was like a star captain or something. He looked amazing. But I was commenting that this guy had to be like top tier. He's like the Michael Jackson of sign language, right? If you're doing the Super Bowl.
So, Michelle, let's start off with your background of sign language. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so my background in sign language started a long time ago at Seminole Community College. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
I started taking their American Sign Language interpreter program with the intention of being an interpreter. But in Seminole Community College fashion, they canceled the program halfway through, so I didn't get to finish it. But I used what I learned, and it actually turned into helping me get into my career in early learning. So I started out teaching preschool, and I was teaching sign language to babies, toddlers, preschoolers, and then that launched me into my teaching career. So it did end up helping me.
Can we talk about something real quick?
Go ahead.
I am so glad that my daughter's 10, and I no longer have to do little pinchy crab hands together means more.
Yes.
And hands out like jazz hands to the side means all done. Because my wife would make me do it, and there's nothing that makes you feel more like a pussy than when you're standing in the middle of Chewy's Tex-Mex looking at your daughter trying to slam your El Presidente margarita, and you're having to do like crabby hands like, all done, more, all done, more.
The Vans never did that.
You didn't do the sign language
no,
thing?
Hell
oh,
no.
my God.
Hell
Andrea,
no.
oh, my God.
We barely did the regular language thing.
Funny enough, Tom,
that was like a hee-haw set-em-up joke. We are now hee-haw. I think technically a board is supposed to come out of the floor and whack you in the ass, and then a cartoon jackass is supposed to sing us off, right?
I like stepping on a rake. All right. So go ahead, Michelle.
No, last time I was here, we were talking about potty training for your sons because I was helping you figure that out. And I think we did talk about potty.
They
poop right
They call them the
pants.
Castleberry diaper boys.
Like, just shake it out in middle school. So, Michelle, before we get started, I was like, let me do a little, little research on sign
Tell
language.
Michelle how she does her job.
So that I could just come up with some questions, some interesting things that I could talk to Michelle about, because I don't know nothing about sign language except and I'm not that dumb. Like, I know there's American Sign Language and other languages of sign language around the country.
That's all you need to know. That's great.
And so I'm like, I
feel like she's mocking you. But
they all do it.
It's fine. It's fine.
So then I was like, yeah, I know there's different, sign languages based on different languages across the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just
one,
which seems kind of stupid because it's like if you all just decided on one, then you could all talk to each other universally, worldwide, but you got to have 300 different ones. Anyway,
Right.
Well, what if I told you that exists? There is International Sign Language, which is a pidgin language made up of different dialects around the world, and that's actually what that professional at the Super Bowl was using.
Really?
Oh, so the guy in the purple suit at the Super Bowl was using a form of international sign language.
International Pigeon Sign Language?
Yeah, oh, man.
Yes, just for birds. Yeah. No, usually
Do you know how
what
you
they
know an
do-
international pigeon?
What?
Very pretentious. He's traveled a lot. He's seen a lot of things, so he has a perspective.
So they're not doing American Sign Language at the Super Bowl? They're doing like an international version?
So the American Sign Language is one of the most widely used sign languages around the world, just like English is one of the most widely used languages around the world. So a lot of it is based in American Sign Language, but what they typically do is meet with consultants, deaf participants who are going to be at the Super Bowl, for
What
example.
do you want? What?
What?
No, sorry. I was acting out you talking to a deaf person about, hey, what do you want at the Super Bowl? And then I said, as a deaf person, I go, what? It was really not nice.
Exactly. So, yeah, they consult and they just try to pick up, what kind of dialect should we really touch on. So, for example, at the Super Bowl, I'm sure that they were incorporating a lot of Spanish sign language, knowing that was going to be a lot of people watching.
What?
Yeah, because of Bad Bunny.
Spanish sign language.
And obviously the NFL, the whole point of Bad Bunny was to get a more international audience. So now,
Got into that soccer.
Michelle, here's the one thing that drove me crazy when I started researching sign language. Is I assumed, like I knew there's different sign languages across the world, right? But what I assumed is like, the British speak English, right? And Americans speak English. So you can go to Britain and you can speak English and they understand. And then so then I'm like, I assumed that both their sign language would be, if not the same, damn near similar.
Very similar, yeah.
And it turns out completely different.
Very different, yeah. So it's just like dialects for verbal language, right? So like in the South, and I'm from Florida, and so I say things like y'all and ain't in my natural speech, which is part of my Southern accent.
Gotcha.
But I live out in the West Coast now. I live in Seattle, and people don't really talk like that here, So you think about it kind of like an accent or a dialect. British language is English, but it's a different dialect of English. So there's going to be different nuances to it that we don't use here in America, basically.
Yeah, no, I understand the dialects, but you can still understand what they're saying. And with the sign language, at least the internet told me that it was completely different. Like, where if someone's doing British Sign Language and you only know American Sign Language, like you wouldn't be able to understand, or you kind of understand?
Well, the beauty of sign language is it's very visually contextual. So you're going to pick up a lot of context from the visual sort of signs that are happening, and you can start to piece it together. Now, whether you can sign back to that person appropriately is where it's going to get tricky.
Oh, that's just like people that can understand, like my wife. Like, she's taken Duolingo and has this incredible streak on it. She can understand Spanish like almost perfectly, but she can't really speak it yet because she's not literally practicing it.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yes. Yeah.
So now, what are some other facts about sign language that we wouldn't know? Just like I didn't know there was a universal sign language.
You know what I've always thought? There are a lot of people that don't have arms that would need to do sign language, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do they sign?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So there is, more technology now that helps with some of this. So there are tools out there for folks like that. One of the things I wanted to go back to from the episode where you guys talked about this is Ross was on and he mentioned, well, why don't they just spell everything out? And that doesn't work because actually a lot of people who grow up deaf have a much lower reading level than people who are hearing. English is a really hard language to learn, even if you have hearing capabilities. So they can't just spell things out. Wow. It's not always the most accessible way for them to communicate.
You're
so he had mentioned, or someone had mentioned the closed captioning. They may or may not be able to read and follow along with something like that, which is why sign language is used more universally.
You're blowing my mind with the idea of learning English and the benefit of being able to hear audibly. Mm-hmm. Like two men are learning English. One is deaf, one can hear, and how much easier it is just off the rip to learn a language when you can audibly hear the language. I've never thought of that.
And also your brain...
it's going to be completely different. It's like colors to someone who's colorblind, right? It's like whatever
or blind
they're
at all.
Yeah, or blind, right.
Yeah, like how do you explain orange to someone? How do you explain the TH sound to a deaf person?
And like she said, English is so weird because there's really no rules that can ever not be broken within English. That's what makes it so difficult.
I did not know, Michelle, that if you're deaf, that you have a harder time reading. But it makes perfect sense now that I think about it. Like, of course it does, but I never put it together. I thought your reading would be better.
How do you?
For some dumb reason.
Well, because you think you read more because you're not talking. I get what you're saying, dude. I get it. It's not dumb.
I follow.
It's not dumb at all. I think it's the actual. Other people just don't say the things that we're thinking. We just yell them out at people like, "You guys are idiots," and I'm like, well, "You were thinking it too." Seriously.
And I want to make sure to clarify too. This doesn't mean that deaf people are less intelligent. They're highly intelligent.
That's what Tom was getting to. Yeah, that's where I wrote that down. Yeah. Scratch that out. Can you erase that?
All right.
But yeah, they have their own culture, and they're often very proud of that. They do a lot of their own arts. There's actually deaf theater. There's deaf musical theater. There's deaf music. A lot of times people don't realize that. They can feel the vibrations more sensitively than someone who is hearing.
Feel it.
Yeah, they can dance. They can keep a beat. So they're very capable of doing a lot of these things. They just do it a little different.
Yeah.
So let me ask.
That's really cool.
The second question I have with sign language is, like, you're able to communicate faster because you're kind of skipping things along, and the person
Thes and ands.
You're like, so in a normal conversation, there's a lot of filler words that are not in sign language, correct?
Correct. Yeah, and if you're learning to sign, you're going to be constantly asking anybody deaf around you to slow down because it is very fast.
They rip. Yeah, I had a friend whose brother was deaf. And I knew certain things to do to interact with his younger brother. But when his younger brother would talk to his parents or the brother, he ripped. I mean, it's so fast.
Yeah, and your brain can't comprehend
the signals.
Right.
Yeah, it takes a lot of practice. It's very visual. So if you think about that idea of if you lose one of your senses, the other ones kind of get a bit stronger. Their visual capabilities are a little heightened because they aren't hearing, so they're able to keep track a lot faster. So that's another advantage that they have in terms of learning sign language over someone who's hearing.
My God, you just figured out a movie. You figured out a movie where a guy, because of his incredible speed of reading sign language, because his eyes have been heightened, can do some sport where you need really good eye, like maybe an F1 driver or something. But you need hearing in that.
But I think be true.
But yeah. I bet you could end up finding something that you're better at because of the deficiency in the other area. But. Wow, that we're learning a lot today. I don't think I've thought a lot about any of this. This is good.
So, are there multiple signs for multiple words?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So even in America, there are different signs for different words throughout the different regions. So, for example, the word mosquito is a different sign in Florida or the South than it is in the West Coast. It's similar, but it's a little different. So back to that dialect thing I was talking about. There's nuances to it. Yeah.
Michelle, let me preface this. I said that wrong, and I asked the dumbest question in the entire world of questions because, of course, there's multiple signs for different words. That's how it works, you idiot. I meant, like, are there the same sign for multiple words?
You don't know what you mean, do you?
Somehow I confused myself even more.
Oh my God, I think I'm going deaf.
Like this,
quick, sign to him, sign to him.
Like one sign means like 5 different things. And
yeah, and it can be that general,
Okay.
and sometimes there are indicators that are around the context of that sign that help sort of define it, if that makes sense. So you might say a word, but then you might add some kind of signifier to it, like this is a woman or a man that's doing this thing.
Yeah, I was going to ask, are there qualifiers like in
Spanish,
like
the A,
not quite as
like
thick.
la and
Yeah.
L, and like in German
Similar.
when it's das and der and die and
Yeah, similar but not quite as fixed as that. But you're kind of placing in front of you visually. You're sort of painting a picture. It's very, very visual. So you might set a place and start with that, and then you're telling a story in that place. So then you're moving the people. You're telling who are the people involved, what the context is that's going on there. And you might set a story to your right, but then you might set up a different part of the story to your left. And you're kind of going in between those two visual spaces to give the full context of that
You took the
story.
question out of my mouth. I was going to ask you if people that need to sign set up their conversations in different ways than we do. So you're kind of telling me that if Tom were deaf, but he's one of the best storytellers I know, by far. If he were going to tell his story as Tom, who doesn't need to sign, he would go about the character development, the positioning of where things are and everything in one particular way. If he were deaf, would he, like you're saying, he may sign some of the characters to the right, then maybe assess the area that he's at to the left. So he's doing the same thing, but maybe having to do it in a different, more sign language friendly way. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And it's just very, very visual. So back to what I was saying about if you're with someone who's going really quickly, you might miss some of those details because you don't quite understand. If you're learning, it's really, really, really hard to become fluent because you've got to keep track of all of that. So it's tricky.
And so, like, back to my dumb question, I kind of meant like water, liquid, precipitation, condensation.
Like a more general word that means a lot of things wet.
Yeah. Like if there's just one sign for like, hey, water, and that encompasses precipitation and all the other things I can't say.
Why the hell did you pick participation? Is it participation or precipitation?
There's a sign for apple, right? An apple can be different types. There's green apples, red apples, but then there's like cosmic crisp apples, honey crisp apples. You might spell out the name of the apple. So you might sign the word apple, but then spell out which kind or give the color.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about like, are there more difficult words to sign? Is that something where you have to literally configure your movements and your hands in a specific manner that's like it's harder for me to say?
I see what you're saying. Like the sign language is more difficult. No different than like on a guitar, a bar chord is harder to do than an open chord.
Or to say participation and precipitation.
I mean, there is spelling. So back to Ross's comment from the episode I listened to about spelling out words. You can spell out words. And oftentimes, so for your name, for example, you would spell your name out. The faster you do that, it becomes its own sign. So your name is a sign, not just spelling it out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, all right. And then that particular sign...
It's almost like a collection of signs become your sign.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I love that.
And a collection of words can become that, too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, question from the chat room, which I think is a fantastic question from our buddy Ryan. He's like, how would you sign something that could be potentially confusing, like a product name, Apple? right?
Yeah, you would sign it out. A big brand name like that probably has its own designated sign in a lot of places.
Gotcha.
So back to what I was just saying about signing out your name, they might spell it, but it's spelled in a nuance that is its own sign, and that's universally used for that brand name.
Or I could see you putting a qualifier on it, and again, since you've kind of like determined to us that a lot of these people are ripping through this, and I've seen it myself, that maybe you could be like Apple phone. So you're putting a qualifier on there, so there's really no problem because you already ripped into that next sign of phone. I don't
100%.
I don't know what the sign for phone would be, but yeah, this is neat.
And you can create nicknames like that too. So if you spell your name out, but then people know like, oh, well, that Michelle really likes cats, right? That I might include the sign for cat in my name somehow, so that becomes my nickname.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Has technology been incorporated with the sign language world where like you could see real-time sign, like can you do digital sign language where your phone can translate it into sign language for you or something?
Interestingly, there is a lot of technology where they are creating sensors that read sign language directly from hands, and they are creating digital languages through that technology. And someone notable who uses that type of technology is a musician called Imogene Heap.
Oh, I love Imogene Heap.
Familiar. Yeah, she has this really cool technology that reads the movement of her fingers and creates music. It's the same type of technology that they use for sign language.
Remember the, what you say? What you say?
Oh, yeah. I love that.
What you say? You remember that?
Yes.
She has these gloves now where she has.
She can do what you're saying.
You don't
with
need
gloves.
dude. I watch her live streams. You don't even understand what, dude. She can stand in front of a camera, and she has one glove that would like she can like pull her middle finger down and be like hum ba bum ba 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 bum ba ba bum, and then it'll start playing hum ba ba bum ba bum ba bum bum, and then she'll go like let me pitch it down a little bit, and then she's like let me add bass, gung, 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 gung. Let me add some drums, and then she just starts singing it all through her gloves. She has these crazy dude. She has music gloves that can do anything, and she can like you know the Mark. That's that guy's name, Mark Roper. I think not Mark Roper. That Mark guy with the mustache that wears a bathrobe and he loops music. Questlove loves him.
Okay, yeah.
Mark something. He's a looper. This Imogen is so far beyond what these loopers are doing. She's got magic gloves that she invented with a guy. Her and some other Swede were like, let's invent magic gloves that make music. And she's able to do it. And now, based on what Michelle's saying, I guess she's using a lot of this hand technology to kind of incorporate it into sign language, which is so Imogen Heap, it stinks. Because she is definitely an artist, a true artist.
So, last question, Michelle. Who is making the most money
I knew you were going to ask that.
doing sign language? I know this is a weird hobby, but
Big sign.
Are there people that are making full-time livings?
100%. Yeah, this is a very highly demanded career. It's very niche because in order to be an interpreter, you have to be hearing. So there's a lot of training that goes into it to be able to be fluent in this many dialects, especially like the guy at the Super Bowl. I bet he is just making bank because he
looks like he does. Like
capable.
you saw his suit, right? Like anybody that wears a purple Star Trek suit to the Super Bowl,
he's got money.
You could tell he had like razzles on it, like admiral badges.
Man, I'm done.
Yeah, they make great money. It's a great field to get into, honestly. So highly recommend it to anybody who's even remotely interested in this. I think it's a really good career.
And you're helping people out.
I am really embarrassed that I asked why is that they have to hear to be an interpreter.
And why would that be misdiscriminatory? Why would that be, Michelle? Why would you want to limit someone who's deaf from teaching sign language and listening to what's happening at the concert and then relaying it to all the other deaf people? Why would you limit them? Good day, ma'am.
And why I'm so embarrassed is I was legitimately curious when I was like, what? It hit me. I was like, oh, God. Damn.
Well, it's kind of the same reason Lobster Boy can't be a sign language guy. He just can't do it. Yeah, even if his heart was in it, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna leave Mike Busey's farm, and I'm gonna go become the greatest sign language man of all time.
Okay, so this is the last question. Do you have to have all 10 fingers, or can you have less fingers and still sign?
I think you could get away with it without all 10 fingers. I think if you didn't have both hands, that could get more complicated. And I'm sure that there are accommodations that are made. I'm sure that there are ways to still convey things.
Yeah, but if you're up there with fake hands, I look down on you a little bit.
Well, not even fake hands, but like, could Lobster Boy sign if he learned?
No, he can't. I shook that man's hand. He can barely open a can of Coke, I think.
Yeah, to some extent, he probably just wouldn't be able to sign out, spelling words.
Oh, I thought you meant he wasn't going to be able to sign out Hertz Rent-A-Car.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Michelle, thanks so much for coming on Weird Hobby Wednesday today. We appreciate it.
We haven't done one of these. You know what? I like the weird hobbies. We should start doing more of these.
And I'm going to keep you in my phone as Michelle Sign Language in case we ever have any future sign language questions.
Okay.
And since you've been on twice, just like SNL, when you get your three-peat, you get a bathroom.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
Yep.
All right,
no
Michelle.
panties underneath. That's the
Come on,
rule.
what the
That's
hell?
the rule.
See you later, Michelle.
All right. Yeah. Did I make you uncomfortable with that?
No.
That's how you get in their pants. That's how you do
I
it.
mean, if she's good at sign language, what else is she good at?
I don't know. I don't think it's like, who are the best lovers? Sign language ladies.
Wait, good with your hands? I don't know. All right.
Yeah, but that's...
We'll be right back.